Hi, my name is Nicole. Welcome to my channel, Travel to Money. In this video, I'm going to talk about service-oriented side hustles, which ones I think are best, which ones I know to be duds, how much money you can realistically make with them, and a whole lot of other tips to help get you started. If you are new here, I have created this channel to help you learn about how to travel, adventure, and have fun on the road to financial independence. I have traveled the world, I own a couple of houses in Spain, and I'm on a creative journey to financial independence. I believe the road to financial freedom can and should be fun. I hope you'll subscribe and join me on this journey, no matter where you are starting from. Sometime in the last couple of years, I was watching a video from another YouTuber about side hustles, but in this video, I think they were talking about a few they hadn't actually tried. One of them was about signing up on various platforms to do laundry for other people. I put it somewhere up in the filing cabinet of my brain and thought to myself, that's a new one that hadn't crossed my mind before. Now, before I talk about ways to do anything on here, I do try to make sure that I have either done it myself or know a close friend or family member who has. I thought it would be a great side hustle to eventually add to a video just like, well, this one. So I decided to give it a try. There were two main platforms I considered after doing some Google research, so naturally I went with the one that paid a little more. I had to fill out a whole form and jump through a lot of hoops. At some point I was asked for an interview and had to do a video call with a person from their HR team. I thought it was kind of odd, but I was asked if I would be willing to do some marketing, like if they sent me pamphlets and other materials. I didn't really give a direct answer, but in my head I was like, if I wanted to do marketing, I'd just create a business myself and keep 100% of the profit. That's why you come to a business like this. Can you imagine if you signed up to drive for Uber and they were like, by the way, you'll have to find your own riders? Ridiculous, right? Anyway, then you have to buy a little kit of stuff for around $50. It includes bags that clients may buy from you, and if they do, the company will send you others to replace them. The kit also comes with a handheld luggage scale that you use to weigh certain bags of laundry, and also plastic bags to return the clean laundry in. So the concept is that you have an app on your phone and you will be notified if you are the person of preference for an order. You are not required to accept any orders, so you can see what it is and then accept it if you want to. Basically, I was under the impression that I would get about $20 per load of laundry, so it's nice if you can pick up a couple of loads at a time. You also receive a service fee of around $3, and then you may be tipped as well. Personally, I never saw myself doing this for long, but if I'm going to do something like this, it would be nice to be able to make at least a couple of $100s per week. In addition to the gas you spend driving to pick up and drop off the laundry, you also have to pay for the detergent, stain removing sprays, dryer sheets, and anything else you might use. Not to mention the water bill and the electric bill that will be raised slightly by doing more laundry. So obviously it only makes financial sense if you can do it at scale. The things I do like about the concept are that you are free to take only orders that you want, and that typically you have a 48-hour turnaround time, so you can do it whenever it fits into your schedule. Plus, for the most part, your washer and dryer are doing the work for you. Well, I won't drag this one out much longer. Over a 2-week period, there were only 2 orders in my area that were within a reasonable range. I picked up the first one, which was a large comforter. I thought, this is cake. All I have to do is wash and dry one item, fold it, and take it back. And that one was cake. But by the time you go pick something up and also deliver it, if it isn't within a 10-minute drive, it's probably not worth your time. The next order was a little outside of my area, but I went ahead and took it. Just 1 bag of laundry. Well, this turned out to be one of the grossest experiences in my life. One of the things that is a bit more time consuming when you're doing laundry for other people is that you have to inspect each item. Well, this was laundry for a grown man who apparently defecates in his pants on a daily basis. Thank God I had gloves. I could not believe what I was seeing. So I called the service line for providers and they said he's a regular and no one had made a complaint before, which means people just wash his poopy clothes every time and don't say anything. And that is where my laundry as a side hustle story ends. It isn't that I feel at all that certain things are beneath me. I'm willing to do some gross stuff when needed, but it was this man's obvious lack of respect for other people as humans to not even scrape the poop out of his pants. My other problem with this particular side hustle is that there just wasn't enough work. Now, if you are interested in doing laundry regularly, I would say that you should just start your own business and have people drop off and pick up their own laundry from you. There is no point in sharing profit with a business like this if you have to do your own marketing anyway. Because of my experience, I give the laundry hustle a 1 star out of 5. Now, if you do this and have a different experience, please share in the comments. Next on my list is selling used items online. Popular platforms are eBay, Mercari, Vinted, Poshmark, and I'm sure there are more. Oh, let's not forget Facebook Marketplace. This all started for me when I was with my best friend in Spain. We would go to the outdoor markets, similar to flea markets in the US, but better. And although there were all kinds of crazy deals we could find, our favorite was shopping for vintage clothing. We would spend around $30 to $50 and come home with bags and bags of cool sweaters, vintage Nike and Adidas jackets, and other really nice items. My friend has a better eye than me, and she really cared a lot about having a specific look for the way our sales pages were branded. Now, we definitely made a profit on a lot of items, but this is one of those things that takes a ton of time. The shopping part is so much fun, but then you have to make sure the items are reasonably cleaned, photograph them, list them, and then package them once they've been purchased. It's not easy work. Now, you can definitely make some extra income, but it's not fast or easy, especially with clothing. Because you might buy an item for $3 and then sell it for $15 or $20, it takes a lot of items before that becomes worthwhile, and you have to keep in mind that not everything sells. I've probably sold around $5,000 worth of stuff over the last few years, but that's not a ton of money if you break it up by year, and that doesn't count that I paid for a lot of the stuff first. Not to mention that margins are getting even slimmer as places like Goodwill are raising prices. Now, just like anything else, if you can sell more expensive products more often, then it could actually be worthwhile. Let me give you an example. A lot of people give away old furniture on Facebook Marketplace all the time. What if once a week you picked up between 1 and 3 wooden items, painted them a trendy color or refinished them, and then sold them for $100 each? I'd imagine you could bring in $1,000 a month pretty easily, and if it's something you enjoy, it could be fulfilling. I know of other people who make 6 figures annually by finding deals on high-priced items and then reselling them for more. For example, you could buy used gym equipment in bulk and then sell each item individually. That's probably not for me, but it can be a whole career for some folks. I would give this side hustle 3 stars out of 5. I think parts of it can actually be fun, but I think it takes a tremendous amount of time, and time is such a precious commodity, so we should generally be looking for side hustles that take up less of our time. The next side hustle I want to talk about is Uber, or grocery and delivery services like DoorDash, Shipt, and Instacart. Before I went on my first big world travel adventure, I would go out and Uber for a couple of hours on most nights of the week. At that point in my life, the only thing it was taking away from was time watching Netflix at home by myself. So I thought, why not go out, make a little money, and have a nice time chatting with people? And honestly, I loved it. I also drove a pretty nice car, so people were generally impressed and gave me a bit more respect than what I've heard from other Uber drivers. I think being female probably helped a little bit too. This is still a side hustle where you're exchanging your time for money, which is always something we want to work ourselves away from. But out of all the things I've done, driving for Uber was actually something I really enjoyed. But I also love to talk to people, so it was a good fit for me. Now, I am not a fan of delivery driving. I don't like getting in and out of the car constantly and then being completely at the mercy of a restaurant who half of the time doesn't have the food ready. Driving for Uber now, I make between $20 and $30 per hour, but of course that doesn't count the cost of gas and maintenance. After that, it's probably easiest to say that I make around $20 per hour after expenses. That's not bad. I'm not doing this regularly, but I love that it's always there waiting for me if I want to go make $100. One of my friends does deliveries for Shipt, which is similar to Instacart. Her brother does it full time, works about 50 hours per week, and brings in over $100,000 per year. That's right, he has this whole system where he puts bad tippers in his map so he never delivers to them again. Brilliant. But for her, when she does it as a side hustle, she averages about $30 per hour, which isn't bad, especially since she isn't putting a lot of miles on her car. Most of the time is spent inside the store doing the shopping. Overall, I don't mind this side hustle at all. I don't think it's the ultimate aim, but if you need money right now, you can go make it. So for this, I'd say 4 stars out of 5 for me. The last side hustle I'm going to talk about is my favorite because it's where I've made the most money and also where I've put the least amount of time, and that is Airbnb. It sure does have a lot of haters out there, but Airbnb legit changed my life. It gave me the ability to use something that I already owned to make me money, and it also gave me affordable living overseas. I know it's got issues, but outside of a normal salary, this has paid me far more than any other side hustle. First, I rented out a bedroom in my house with a shared bathroom. I made roughly $900 per month for a tiny little bedroom. Then I rented out my whole house while I traveled the world. Doing this, I was able to cover my mortgage, bills, and profit about $1,500 per month. I set up a system that ran pretty flawlessly for the most part. The only major time and investment was in getting it all set up, and then all I ever had to do was respond to emails while I was traveling. It was amazing. I ended up selling that house, and it might have been the dumbest thing I've ever done. More recently, I've rented a big house that has a 1-bedroom separate apartment attached to it. A friend invested with me, and we were able to turn just the apartment into a private Airbnb, get a regular roommate for the main house, and because of this, we live rent-free without having to pay any bills. Plus, we make enough profit to pay ourselves back for the initial investment. It's freaking amazing. It certainly isn't always the easiest side hustle, but it has been so transformative in my life that I'd give it 5 out of 5 stars. Now, I know a lot of people that are like, I don't want strangers living in my house, and I guess I get it, but generally strangers like that will end up being friends. I have several friends that stayed in that first bedroom that I rented out, and I'm still in touch with them, even though it's been 6 years since I originally met them. Now, I've never used it as a huge investment where I just buy up a lot of properties and turn them into Airbnbs. I understand that the market is largely oversaturated due to that becoming a thing. For me, it's worked as a small personal side hustle and has provided so much opportunity for me. I can't wait to go stay at many more beautiful Airbnb locations around the world, meet some incredible hosts, and hear the stories of how individuals are changing their financial future through this opportunity. I do hope you'll like this video and subscribe to join me every day where travel and adventure build financial freedom. I can't wait to see where your dreams will take you.